Bartholomew's Honey Quest, a bear's journey beyond the forest. In a place where trees kissed the sky, and the forest whispered secrets to the wind, lived a creature of curiosity and considerable girth. This magnificent creature, known to others as Bartholomew the bear, could think of nothing more divine than the golden nectar of the bees, the enchanting elixir called honey. This ambrosial delight made every nerve in Bartholomew's large body quiver with anticipation, and the indulgence of the sweet substance was Bartholomew's single most heartfelt passion. But one day, the humming hive that was a constant supplier of the golden delight ran dry. Bartholomew, unable to bear the thought of a honeyless existence, decided on an expedition, a quest of sorts, to find the most delectable honey there was. The first leg of this arduous journey led Bartholomew away from the sanctuary of the towering trees and underbrush of the home forest and brought the massive bear to the brink of a glimmering lake. This was a vast body of water Bartholomew had only ever caught glimpses of, far in the horizon. Now, the prospect of crossing this gargantuan water body seemed like an intimidating obstacle. But Bartholomew's determination was as substantial as the creature itself. For days Bartholomew observed the creatures around, from the tiny ants to the elegant swans, each moving with purpose and intelligence. From the beavers, Bartholomew learned the technique of using strong branches as makeshift floats, and by mimicking the calculated, graceful strokes of the swans, Bartholomew mastered the art of swimming. Each day was a lesson, each creature a teacher, and every wave a test of strength and tenacity. It took Bartholomew 6 laborious days to finally cross the lake, exhaustion weighing on the bear's broad shoulders like a boulder. The night following the bear's triumph was filled with a celebration of the stars, twinkling brighter than ever in the sky. Upon traversing the lake, Bartholomew's expedition led to an unfamiliar territory. The bear found itself in a quaint little human town called Bakersville, where it soon discovered that the humans had an affinity for honey, just like its own. Bakersville was a small hamlet brimming with thatched-roof houses, cobblestone streets, and most notably, a grand bakery that wafted the smell of honey-infused delights. Intrigued and allured by the heavenly scent, Bartholomew peered inside the bakery from the shadows of the night, careful to remain unseen. Bakersville was bustling with humans who had a peculiar fear of bears, and a single sight of Bartholomew could result in chaos. One evening, Bartholomew observed a baker, old Mr. Wilfred, accidentally spill a jar of honey on the bakery floor. The sight was disheartening, but Bartholomew noticed that the honey was quickly cleaned up and the floor was left spotless. Bartholomew took a cue from this event and started visiting the bakery at the break of dawn every day, licking clean any honey droplets that had fallen overnight. This became a routine, a dance with the rising sun, until one day, Bartholomew was caught in the act by a young girl, Milly, the granddaughter of Mr. Wilfred. Instead of shrieking in fear, Milly gazed at Bartholomew with wonder-filled eyes and quietly retreated, only to return with a pot of honey. This unusual bond, forged over the shared love for honey, blossomed into a secret friendship. Under the soft glow of the morning sun, the bear would wait for the little girl to bring out a pot of the golden delicacy. Milly, full of heart and courage unlike other humans, decided to help Bartholomew find a way back to the forest. The little girl had heard stories about the vast forest on the other side of the mountains that were home to buzzing hives of wild honeybees. However, the mountains were treacherous, full of slippery slopes and rocky terrains. But with the memory of the forest and the promise of plentiful honey in mind, Bartholomew decided to brave this last leg of the journey. Millie, armed with a map and a spirit of adventure, decided to help the bear navigate the dangerous mountains. The mountain paths twisted and turned like the intricate patterns on a spider's web, and every corner seemed to present a new challenge. From maneuvering around precarious cliff edges to climbing steep, rocky slopes, every day tested Bartholomew's resilience. Millie, however, stood by the bear's side, guiding the creature through the safest routes on her map, providing encouragement when the journey seemed impossible. One particular challenge that stood between Bartholomew and the journey to the forest was the ascent of a formidable cliff known as Falcon's Crest. The cliff was a looming figure against the skyline, daring the bear to scale its treacherous heights. Bartholomew, looking into Millie's hopeful eyes, decided to take on the challenge. For days Bartholomew attempted the ascent, each time only managing to climb a little higher than before. The cliff was relentless, but so was Bartholomew. The bear observed the tiny creatures that thrived on the cliff, the squirrels and birds that hopped from one rocky crevice to another. From their techniques, Bartholomew learned to find firm footing on the rocky surface, to use strength and balance to scale the cliff slowly but surely. Millie, from the foot of the cliff, would cheer for Bartholomew, her words of encouragement echoing in the bear's heart. On the 8th day, with a final, hefty push, Bartholomew pulled itself over the top of Falcon's Crest. As the bear heaved a sigh of relief and triumph, the wind carried a familiar scent. It was the sweet, intoxicating aroma of wild honey. Bartholomew knew then, the forest was near, and the quest was near its end. Millie and Bartholomew descended from the mountains and found the forest alive with the buzzing of bees and the sweetest honey Bartholomew had ever tasted. Amidst the rejoicing, Millie handed Bartholomew a small token, a jar filled with honey from the Bakersville bakery, a sweet reminder of their unique bond. As Millie returned to Bakersville, with tales of her adventures and a secret friend, Bartholomew found a new home in the forest, where the bear was just a part of the whispering trees and rustling underbrush. Bartholomew's honey quest had come to an end, and the bear had found a new world, one where the love for honey had led to an unforgettable adventure and an extraordinary friendship.